G'day guys, another day. I've got something exciting to show you. Thanks to you, the subscribers, coming through, giving me information and looking at my stamps that I'm uploading, people are pointing stuff out to me. So the first thing I want to go through is a person named Nub. It's Nub Gudgeon. So if I just turn this around and I can show you the video, 1D, what was it? I'll just straighten it out. 1D KGV red stock book. And basically, Nub Gudgeon said, hey, you got some good pickings here. At 8:51 the video is MY joined. In the left stamp of the pair, there is a die 2 in there as well. At 9:30, the right stamp, perhaps a scratch behind the roo, secret mark, middle stamp, blah, blah, blah. So I went, all right, we'll have a look at these. And oh my God. It sort of gave me the inspiration over the last day or two to start looking through all the rest of my 1D KGV. And I found the most expensive stamp in my entire collection. Let's go have a look. All right, so this is the book that Nub went through, and I did a video on the 1D KGV. And there was just lots and lots of pages, rightio? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to look for varieties. So what we do is, once you get a book like so, the Australian Commonwealth Specialist Catalogue, if you can read that, I'm just going to move this out of the way. So once you get a book like this, you can then, anything specialist catalogues. So any country will offer different specialist catalogues. So in Europe, Mikkel's, or Michael's, or Mikkel, that offers their specialist catalogue, and I've got a copy of that for my German collection. But this King George V is an Australian, one time sort of certain time in history, and it looks after all the KGV. So what we do is we find the 1D, and we've got some things here, and they go through and you find all the little varieties. They list every single little variety, like so. And you get subscribers out there who are absolute geniuses and can watch a video and go, oh, that's a blah, 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 or that's another bit. So for instance, you know, there's a line behind the roo and stuff. So there's a line behind, a scratch on the roo. Where was that one? I'm just trying to look for it, because this is the one. Oh, here it is here, plate 4. Scratch behind the roo. So if I just zoom in, you will see there's a line right there behind the kangaroo of the KG, and someone spotted that. So let's go through some of the stamps that were spotted. So the first one he spotted was this one here, and it was a MY joined. All right, so what that means is MY there is joined together. So if I hold that up close to the camera, you should be able to see, if you look here, there's a little line between N and Y. So maybe if I zoom in, there we go, this is maximum, and you might be able to see the MY joined. Can you see that? Now it's joined with a normal stamp, so you can see that the MY on that side is not joined, which is great because it shows people that, you know, from that same printing, there's one with it and one without, which makes the stamp probably worth more again. Now, I didn't think much of it at first because a lot of these are worth $30 a pop, these differences, but I had a look and it came out, not that orange, not the green one, we'll look at that in a bit. MY joined is worth $500. $500. So a subscriber out there found that $500 stamp. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? He then spotted the scratch behind the kangaroo. So if you have a look at these, there's 2 of them, because I then went through the rest of them to have a look. And there's a scratch along there. See that? They were $50 each. Unbelievable. Because I don't know if you remember, I did a video. I'm going to scan back out again. I did a video on this book, rightio, and I bought it off eBay for $100. And it had, some old guy had gone through and put all the different things that were wrong with everything. But a lot of these varieties didn't come up in the book, but the scratch behind the root did. And there was another one in this $100 book I bought from eBay, which was a break left of the crown. And I'll look at that one in a second, because that will blow you away. We'll just build up to that one. There's a nick top left frame of this. This is a $30 stamp. So if we have a look, we'll zoom in. Top left hand frame, there's a nick. Okay, you see right there, there's a nick in the frame. That's worth $30. Amazing. The next one is broken top of crown. So the top of the crown is broken up there. See that? That's worth $30. So normal stamp, if I have a look at the normal cost of the stamp, so you know it's a $5 stamp. So basically the majority of these were $5 each. A white scratch behind roux. So this is another scratch behind the roux, but it's a smaller scratch. So this is a plate 3. So the other ones I showed you are plate 4. And I've this is a plate 3. So this is a plate 3 line. This is 4, 4, 4. And oh yeah, he picked this one up as well, a die 2, which is not really a die 2. They've just named it that. And the reason for that is this little tick here. So really these stamps only come in die 1 and die 3, but the die 2, I was reading about it, they brought that up and just used it to talk about this one mark. But yeah, that's a $20 stamp, so that happens a fair bit. That's okay, still good. A dot before the 1. So if we have a look at this one here, another one, this one, there's a 1 there and there's a dot before it. That is a $30 stamp. Happens a fair bit. And then this one is a plate 3 cut in left frame right there. It's like it's cut a bit. So that's a good $30 stamp. So basically a lot of these were picked up by, was it Nub? I'll have to say his name again. It is Nub Gudgeon. So thank you so much, mate. That's just brilliant what you've done for me, because it drove me then to start looking through this stamp album, and I found this stamp here with a break in the top left frame. See that? Left of frame, and the crown dots are not joined to the line, so it makes it a fairly special stamp. And when you look it up, and I made sure it wasn't a die 1, or like it is a die 1, but I mean, I made sure it wasn't a die 3, and it's, you know, they got the right watermark on it. So if we turn it over, it's got the right watermark. Yes, single watermark. It's not 14.2. So what happens is these stamps come out in 2 versions. 14.2 single line. Whoops, I can't even see you can't see what I'm pointing at. They come out in 14.2 single line perf. And they also come out in 14.25. Whoops, I can't even see that, can you? 14.2.5. So a lot of people go, oh, how do you know the difference? Because your perforation gauge doesn't come in 14.2. So if you have a look, it's got 14.25 there, but it hasn't got 14, and you've got 14, but it's no 14.2. So how do you tell? And the easiest way to tell is you get the stamp and line it up against another known 14.25 stamp. And then what you do is you line them up like that, the perfs. And if you've done it right, they should, if they match the perfs, like if each of the perfs attach and they run well, you know they're both the same perforation. Now, what you do is to make sure they're a 14.25, you just put it in here. There you go, it's done. So, if it's a 14.2 and you line it up like so on a known 14.25, it'll run a little bit shorter, like they won't fit together. You won't have perfect holes all the way down. What you'll find is one will be like a bit shorter, and the little zeros or little holes will just all of a sudden will get all messed up. So, it will go like that. You know how, so it will close up a bit. Oops, you can't even see what I'm doing. I have to look at the camera. So what I'm saying is how you can tell if it's a 14.2. So if it matches like that, they're both the same perforation. And if we checked one on the perforation gauge at 14.25, then we know if you put another one up against it and it matches, it's the same perforation. But if the stamp you put up against a known 14.25 doesn't fit and it sort of ends just a little bit and goes a bit skew with, so if you have a look at the bottom, it looks a little bit skew with, then you know that that's a shorter stamp, which means it's a shorter perforation. Well, it's probably not even said right, because if you think all the holes are put along 14.2 and these ones are being put along 14.25, so basically one of them will just end a little bit sooner. So I hope that made some sense. Rightio, so that one will go there. I'm just going to double check that that is the right one. Yep, that is. So if you look this stamp up, guess what? This stamp is worth, top frame, broken left crown, $9,000 mint, $6,500 used. Now, to make sure everything aligns that it's right, and that's a 6,500, a once in a lifetime find. So I thought finding all those cracked plates was one of my biggest finds, but that is just insane. Now I need to send it away and get it checked. It could turn into just a $30, $40 stamp, but at this stage I can't see that on here. I cannot see it in here. So the only one it is the one with the broken frame. So fingers crossed, that's a $6,500 stamp. Unbelievable. So I'm going to put that into my album and do it up. Next stamp show, I'll take it to the expertiser and get him to have a look and see what he thinks. Fingers crossed it's true. Sometimes when it's that much, you just can't believe it, and you just I don't know, I've had a few of them just go, no, you're wrong. All right, next thing, I wanted to share. That was the biggest thing, and that's the main point of this video today, but it makes it a bit short. I did buy another stamp from eBay, so I would like to share that with you. I cannot remember what it is. It is Trilla. Oh, look at that. I got that for a bargain. Look at that. It's a state stamp. 2 pence, New South Wales. Imperforate. I look around on eBay a fair bit because sometimes people don't find the buyers or anything. Look at that. Still got a bit of gum on it. It's mint. Let's go have a look at what price that is. So yeah, I try and look around at eBay, and sometimes people have, it's the first time listing and that, their stamps, I don't know, they name them incorrectly or they do something and they get hidden down the back end of eBay. And I find sometimes I'm the only person bidding on these things. And I think, oh my gosh, bid. So, someone's loss is my win. But I'm just going to get my book and just test the price. All right, so this has come up pretty well. So I just want to prove and show you how some of these stamps come up. So this was advertised as a 1981 Laureate's 2D Blue Mint. So straight away you just think, oh, wow. How do you find that in the search? There's no word stamp on there, so no one knows it's a stamp. So I came across it, the picture, and had a look, and I paid $8.50 and I think $11.49 with postage. All right, so you think, wow, is it fake? I mean, there was a whole heap of these stamps for sale, so I really don't think so. Like, it looks pretty real to me. I could be fake. I doubt it. What has he got written up about it? Let's have a look. It'd be funny if we look at it now and it goes, this is a replica. So description, delve into the rich history. This stamp is a must-have for collectors' fascination by the 19th century postal history. The stamp features marking, HM marking. I don't know what the HM marking is. Indicates mint status and adding to its collectability. As a piece of Australian heritage, it represents a noteworthy period in the nation's postal history. Yeah, it doesn't say it's fake or anything. I know a lot of things are fake on eBay, but it could be someone selling their grandfather's collection. And for $11, why not have a stab? Now this catalogue, which is really, really old, this is probably from the 80s or early 90s. I bought this many eons ago. If you find the stamp, it looks, I think it's like this one here, the Laureate. That's the 1 penny, this is the 2. So we look over here, it's a number 3. So if we zoom in so you can all see, and we've got the number 3 design, red, orange, blue, dots in corners. If you have a look here, there's stars in the corners. So we go to the 2D stars in corners, and it is mint, bluish paper, yes, $400. So $400 for $12. That is pretty amazing. So that's for this old catalogue when the state stamp's worth hardly anything. Then you come to this catalogue, and you know, I've got so many catalogues. This is a Stanley Gibbons catalogue, Australia, done in England, sent over here. Now we find this one here. It'd be this bigger stamp. This looks more like that stamp than this one. It's a number 9. I'll have to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. It's a number 9. So we come down here to 9. And it's got plate 2, stars in corners, October 1853. Bluish, medium to thick wove paper, 2D deep ultramarine or indigo, 2,750 pounds. That's $5,500. So, I don't know. That just seems ridiculous price for that. I don't know if that's real or not now, because, you know, some people sell these things not knowing what they are. You know, you get your father leaves a collection. Now, I could be the luckiest person in the world if that is worth that. If anyone knows how to tell if these are being faked or anything, please let me know. This is a New South Wales state stamp from 1853. If it's not, oh my God, that's worth selling and buying all my kangaroos. Anyway, that's great. One final thing. I just want to have a shout out before I finish this video. I'm going to unhook you. Wait one second. I just want to do a big shout out to my 600th subscriber, and that is Gerd World from Brazil. His name's spelled Gerd, and the last name is Werle. And he did a bit of work for me. I didn't ask for it. He did it off his own kind heart. And he took my stamp that I love so much, and he put me in one of them, which is quite funny. But he redesigned my favourite stamp, and I just want to show you all. Look how cool that is there. That is my 3D airmail, and he's put a jet engine plane in it. He's put beautiful running river with the sheep, mushrooms. Look at that. Same type of trees, beautiful clouds, big sun. Isn't that just beautiful? I think he needs to design stamps. Thank you so much. I hope he doesn't mind. I'm going to use it on my YouTube channel instead of my face in my channel. I've replaced it with that stamp, and I'm thinking I might do my intro once I find some decent music, if anyone's got any music they own, I need like a 10-second clip. It goes up and down, so it sounds okay. It's just driving me crazy trying to find something for my intro, but I want to use that stamp now and put it in there because it's amazing. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks for listening. Cheers. And thank you for subscribing. Unbelievable. It's gone through the roof. Thank you very much. See ya.